What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back to a new review. Today we are checking out one of the cheapest phones available on the market that has a physical keyboard, and well, one of the only phones available on the market that has a physical keyboard. So this right here, it's called the Blackberry KEY2 LE, and this is basically the light version of the original Blackberry KEY2. Now, when I said the cheapest, I'm talking about $450, and that's definitely not cheap, but just like a lot of other phones available on the market, you're paying for the brand name, and this is still a Blackberry no matter how you look at it. Now, the main difference between this and the original Blackberry KEY2 is the fact that this phone is made out of plastic, the other one is made out of metal, and this one doesn't feel as premium, however it doesn't feel cheap by any means. We get the same 4.5-inch screen with a 1080p resolution, and we get a very similar looking keyboard. However, the keyboard on this one is 10% smaller, but you'd probably never notice if I wouldn't tell you. The fingerprint scanner sits in the spacebar, so just as it did on the original KEY2, and in my case the fingerprint scanner on this one works better and it is faster. I'm not sure why, but it is definitely faster. Unfortunately, we lose the trackpad capabilities of the keyboard, so the original KEY2 you could scroll your finger up and down, left or right on the keyboard, and that was like a big trackpad. Well, with this phone we lose that, so the keyboard is just a keyboard. Typing on this keyboard will kind of take you back in time, back to those days when everyone used to have a Blackberry Bold or a Pearl or something like that. And if you've had a Blackberry in the past, the experience will feel very familiar. But if you've never used a keyboard, like a physical keyboard in the past, well, this will feel a bit strange. And me personally, after using this for over a month, I can still say that I'm faster typing on the screen than on this keyboard. So it's nice typing on this keyboard because you don't actually have to look at it after a while, because you kind of learn where the keys are, which is the opposite to the touch screen, because with that you kind of have to look at the screen at all times. But I don't think that typing on this keyboard is actually faster than typing on the screen. We still have all the keyboard shortcuts, so for example, if I press Y, the YouTube app opens, if I press C, Chrome opens, and so on. And we also have that fast key so you can switch in between apps. And after you use that for a while, you're gonna notice that switching between apps is much faster than on other devices. But again, you're gonna have to use the phone for a while, because if you just start using it, it's gonna take a while and it feels somewhat unnatural at first. But after a while and after you get used to it, yes, those shortcut keys are actually very useful. The phone also retains the 3.5mm audio jack that's sitting at the top, and that's definitely something nice to have. And we also keep the convenience key that sits just below the power button. In my case, I've set up the Google Assistant on the convenience key, so every time I press the convenience key, the Google Assistant opens. So definitely very convenient. Unfortunately, the rear cameras were kind of downgraded from the original KEY2. So now on the back we have a 13 megapixel sensor and a 5 megapixel sensor. And if you have plenty of light, the pictures do look okay. I mean, the edge detection is okay if you use the portrait mode, but as soon as it gets dark, the picture quality decreases quite a lot, and it's kind of difficult to take anything in focus if it's dark. So yeah, the rear cameras aren't that amazing on this device, and I was kind of expecting a bit more because the phone isn't exactly cheap. The same goes for the 8 megapixel front facing camera. As long as you have plenty of light, the pictures turn out okay. As soon as you don't have enough light, well, the pictures don't turn out that great. So the cameras on this device aren't spectacular, and they're only okay if you have plenty of light. We also get a bit of a downgrade performance wise, but only in a way, because with this phone we get the Snapdragon 636 and 4 gigs of RAM, and you can get this phone with either 32 or 64 gigs of internal storage. Now, yes, the benchmark results are a bit lower than you'd get on the KEY2, but I feel that the software on this device is actually better optimized than the software that we had on the KEY2. Therefore, this phone actually feels speedier than the KEY2. So with the KEY2 I used to have lag for a lot of apps. Well, that's not the case with this one. So if you open the Facebook app, for example, or the browser or anything like that, there is almost no lag with this device, where with the KEY2 I actually had lag with a bunch of apps. So the software optimization on this one is better, even though we get a lower performing CPU. Since we have a somewhat unusual 3:2 screen ratio, of course watching videos and playing games may not be the best experience out there, but you're gonna have to give some things up if you want a physical keyboard. So whenever you're watching videos, you have a black bar at the top and a black bar at the bottom, and well, the screen is quite small. And whenever you're playing games, well, it's kind of difficult to hold the phone because you have the keyboard at the bottom. So those are some downsides to having a physical keyboard, because if you'd have a 6-inch screen and a keyboard, then the phone would be pretty big. Another small downgrade from the Key 2 would be the smaller battery inside this device, but that also makes the phone lighter. So inside this phone we have a 3000 mAh battery versus a 3500 mAh battery in the Key 2. Now on one charge you can definitely make it through an entire day and get between 6 to 8 hours of screen time, but I think that with the Key 2 I used to make it through the second day without any issues. Now the phone supports fast charging as well, and charging the phone only takes about an hour and a half. So if you run out of battery you can easily charge it in like an hour and a half. So there you have it. This is the Blackberry KEY2 LE, the cheapest phone available with a physical keyboard. And me personally, I don't mind the fact that the phone is made out of plastic. I don't mind that we have a smaller battery. I don't mind that we are missing that trackpad from the keyboard. The only thing I wish would have been better were the cameras. I wish this phone would have had the same cameras as the original Key 2, because I actually prefer this phone in many ways over the original Key 2. The phone feels speedier, the fingerprints scanner feels faster, the phone is lighter and so on. So I actually prefer this phone over the Key 2, but just not the cameras. The cameras aren't that great. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, press that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.